this time I'll call the Jones County Board of Appeals and Adjustments and the Jones County Planning and Zoning Commission meetings to order. First item of business this afternoon is approval of our September minutes. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any old business?
No, ma'am.
All right, so there's no items for the Board of Appeals and Adjustments this evening, so we go directly to Planning and Zoning. These items are heard tonight by the Planning and Zoning Board, and the decision from this board is a recommendation. That goes to the Board of Commissioners, and the Board of Commissioners is who makes a final decision on planning and zoning. Their meeting is November the 5th, so tonight we'll hear it, make a recommendation, goes forward to them, and they will make the final decision November 5th. The way this works is that the person who's making the request will come up and make a short presentation to the board about what you're asking for and why. If there's anyone here in support of that request, then they can come up and speak. If there's anyone here in opposition to that request, then they have the opportunity to speak. And then that portion of the meeting is closed and it moves to questions from the board to the applicant or anything about what's been said. So that's just sort of the order of procedure. First item this afternoon is Mr. Brian Marriott. Am I saying that correctly? Mr. Marriott, who is requesting a conditional use to allow a hunting club. The property is located at 865 Griswoldville Road, and it consists of 19.37 acres, zoned rural residential.
I am the owner of that property. He has a half an acre,
Would you-
161 feet.
Would you come up here, ma'am, and identify yourself and your address, each of you?
Yeah, his acreage of where he
And your
has the
name?
hunting club, I'm Peggy Bowles on it.
Okay.
It consists of 161 feet by 170 feet, which is like 0.62 acres, about a half acre of land. That's all he uses. The rest of that is all my property, the whole 19. Okay.
And you're Mr. Marriott?
Yes, I am.
All right, so what is it you're planning to do, sir?
Well, I have a hunt club. I've been here since 1983. I established a hunt club, and I had, from her father, Joe Etheridge, we leased, it was a little larger tract, and I had a little over an acre of what we leased from him at that time. And we used it for the establishment of our hunt club. And I was there until probably 2010, 2011, and Ms. Boyle's husband and I, we had a little disagreement. I caught him in a bold-faced lie, and from that point on, he made my life miserable. Okay, so I reestablished my hunt club off of old Griswoldville Road, which is directly across the street, across the railroad track rather. And I've been there up until 2011. And so I was there for probably, what, maybe 5-6 years, something like that. A few years. I don't recall. But anyhow, then at that point, I mean, at that time too, I never vacated 865 Griswoldville address. I mean, I got mail out of the mailbox today, as a matter of fact, that I've been there ever since. I moved my hunt club to this other location, although I personally stayed on that piece of property on the north end of, we have a map of the entire tract, which it was subdivided. Peggy her name is on one half of it, and her sister Dorothy is on the other half of it. And you know, all I did was just, I had a house trailer, and her husband and I, we had such a bitter feud that I literally gave my house trailer away to get it off. Dorothy, the other sister, Peggy's sister, had an abandoned house trailer, maybe 200 yards up, on the same tract of land. And I reestablished my hunt club at that point. That was my point of, that was my business side, whatever you want to call it. That was my point of Marriott Hunt Club. And anyhow, then where I had set up my hunt club off of Grizzleville Road, I mean, I know it's got to be me, but I had a falling out with the gentleman that owned that property. And he, I just, you know, I can't take being underneath somebody's thumb and have me do something different every day. And so we moved my hunt club back to Peggy. She says, Brian, why don't you just come right back up there where my trailer was at and set up right here. I said, you allow me to do that? Of course, then at that point in time, I learned that her husband that I did not get along with, he's out of the picture in a divorce. And so, oh, Peggy, I'd love to. I mean, so we set up an income for her that I would lease this piece of property from her. And everything was working real great. I went back to the Tri-County EMT where I had my power, you know, my power is with these people. And I told them, I said, you know, I would like to put in a new power pole. We took down the old power pole because they were rotten, propped up, and so we did all that. I come to Tim, whatever your last name is, I apologize. And we got a permit to do that. And Brian, what's his name? Brian. Anyhow, he come and inspected, and we got a permit. So at that point in time, I reestablished my hunt club where I'm at now. And obviously, I have somebody that wasn't happy with what I did. I know I got a neighbor that said I ruined all his hunting. He's hunting on his property next door, and which I have pictures of his food plot and his tree stands and his, you know, his ground blinds and his feeders all out there. And he said I ruined it. So I don't know if he was the one that made the complaint, but you know, I've never had a complaint with absolutely anybody. You know, when we had my hunt club set up off of Grizzleville Road, you know, we have a outdoor bathroom. It's run into a septic tank. Everything is perfectly legal. And the sheriff's department, Jones County Sheriff's Department, the lady, she was a lady deputy sheriff, and she would come by there, and I said, you know, use our facility. She said, wow, you know what? Because when she's on patrol in the middle of the night, there is no place for her to use a restroom. So we got feathers in our cap, you know. I also am granted by the state of Georgia with the projects that we do. I belong to a project called Project Wings. It's sponsored by the Department of Agriculture, and NRCS, Natural Resource and Conservation Series. I actually put this program on. I've been doing this for probably 25 years. And I've got contracts of that showing their effect, you know, contracts 2025, 24 and 25, that was last year and this year. I mean, I do everything good for the community. We've been praised by the DNR. They've come up and they've sat with us and they checked my people for the hunting licenses and all that stuff. I've never had an infraction in the 43 years I've been here. Now, Mr. Timms, you know, said that what I need to do is to apply for a hunt club. And I said, well, why can't I be grandfathered in? I've been here forever. My mailbox has never been changed. I got mail out of that mailbox today addressed to me. And I mean, I've got that with me. And I've got, you know, I've got contracts with the state. I've got everything.
But there was a complaint filed? Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
what triggered this?
Yes, ma'am.
I have no clue. And there's only,
We just need to understand what you're asking to do,
yeah.
sir.
What I'm asking to do is set my hunt club up where I had it originally 43 years ago. And where my house trailer was, the one I gave away, just get it off the property.
And that's the 19 acres that you are planning.
There's only it's only like 170 feet long. I measured it. When I went to the health department, the girl at the health department, because I wanted to make sure everything, because there was a septic tank there was water running. I mean, it was all set up before. And I have a camper set right where I want, you know, where my house trailer was set before. And when we got the power hooked up, you know, I run it to the camper, I've got a utility building. We, you know, Mr. Bryan, he come out, he inspected the building, made sure everything was all up to par with that.
But the conditional use is for all 19 acres, not just this.
Well, that's what Peggy's trying to figure out, why it was for the full 19 acres.
Can you help us
Are we
with that?
doing, you wanna wait till board comments?
Sure.
Cause he's almost used up his 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay,
I
I'm
forgot
sorry.
to I forgot.
I didn't realize we had a time limit here.
I forgot to tell you, that's my fault.
Oh, that's quite all right.
You got a minute 30 left, sir.
A minute 30 left. Okay, so my proposal is, I guess that's what I'm asking, is I would like to continue to have my hunt club. I've been established there for 43 years, to continue to use this piece of property as I did back 43 years ago. I mean, the only thing that's changed is it's much cleaner, much better. I mean, we keep the place tidy. We don't have any debris, nothing laying around. It's just, we're good neighbors. My next door neighbor was supposed to come in and follow me in tonight. I'm here. Oh, Kevin, hey, I'm sorry. And, you know, see if he has anything bad to say. I brought a lot of stuff. I brought some pictures. I got 4 or 5 magazines here that date back as far as in early 2000s. And everyone's got ads in these magazines with my hunt club. And so, I mean, I'm not just a new hunt club, a new kid on the block. I've been here forever. And very good recommend with my neighbors. I do everything that's supposed to be done.
You got 30 seconds left.
30
Mr.
seconds.
Marriott.
Well, all I can say is, please allow me to have my hunt club.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank everyone.
Is there someone here who would want to speak in support of this gentleman's request? Come up here and please, ma'am, and tell us who you are and how you are connected to this.
My name is Carla Marriott. I'm his daughter. I've been on the property and hunting it my whole life too, but we don't hunt directly on that property. It's just an area for us to gather, get together, do meetings that we may have to do. Our actual property that we hunt is actually across the road. We have a tract leased. They changed their name 100 times. I think it's Green Diamond now. So we don't hunt on it, and like you said, it's not the full 19 acres. It's just like a half-acre tract. It's just more where we can get together and, you know, if we have meetings, have a board there so everyone can mark what stand they're going to sit at, and just kind of have a central location for everybody in the hunting club is all we use it for. Well, we have a camper there, yes. We don't, the other ones are, the other campers are just storing there. If you look, they're not hooked up to power or anything. They're just stored, and then if people need to come up or anything, but a lot of them actually live in Georgia, so they have travel back and forth to their home. So it's just kind of, and we keep our, because, you know, we have to plant food plots and stuff, so we keep our agriculture stuff there as well. It's just like a storage and get-together kind of location. So we just would like to be able to keep our central location for everyone to be able to have the meetings and stuff. And like you said, we've been there for years, so just kind of want to be able to keep it as it has been, no changes. So that's
Thank
all.
you. Is there anyone else here who would speak in support of this request? Yes, sir. Come up and tell us your name, please, and
My name's Kevin Terrell.
your
and,
address.
I bought the property I'm on about a year ago, the 19 acres that's adjacent to Miss Peggy's property. And so I own all the property next to him and behind him. He's been an exceptional neighbor.
And so what's your address, sir? Property.
618 Henderson Road.
Okay.
But I have access from Griswold Road as well. I have a 90-foot an easement coming off of Griswold as well. So, but Brian's been exceptionally helpful, doing anything I needed him to do. In fact, he was instrumental in me getting set up on my place and being able to move in and everything. So he's a great neighbor. He's caused no problems whatsoever. Like he said, they keep the place up very nice. It's not trashy. There's no ruckus. There's no partying. There's no nothing down there. Matter of fact, I ride my buggy down through there almost every day and talk to Maddox and talk to Carl.
Sir, talk to us.
And talk to Carla. I'm sorry.
Talk to us.
And but anyway, so there's no complaints from me whatsoever about having this established hunting club there. And I think that he has reputation here today from all sides of him. So I own the property from one side, Miss Peggy owns the property from the other side. And so we have no problem with him being there, so.
Thank you. Is there anyone here who would speak in opposition to this request?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Tell us your name, sir, and your address,
My name
please.
is Stephen Riddle. I live at 891 Grizzleville Road.
If I could just, you'll have a 10-minute time limit.
Okay,
sir.
I don't need that. I have nothing against anybody hunting. The reason I bought my property out there was so I could hunt. And I did so no problem at all until about December of last year, when all of a sudden about 7 or 8 campers popped up in my backyard. He said 2 things that concerned me. One was the food plots and all the ground blinds and all that stuff is mine. The second thing he said about the complaint, that was not me.
Sir, talk to us, please.
I had nothing to do with that. I don't know how that happened, but anyhow, my wife told me about this meeting. So I just came and wanted to ask a couple of questions about as far as, aren't there some kind of things as far as like 5-acre things per house and stuff? What would you call that, the word I'm looking for? I just was, a comp, like a comp,
Conservation?
No, it's a competitive or I can't think of the word, I was just talking to my buddy on the way here about it. But anyhow, where you, like, unless you're in a subdivision or something like that, isn't there state laws where you have to have like so many acres per household or whatever?
The county has zoning regulations for
Okay, well,
subdivision.
I mean, I just, like I said, I don't have any problems with the gentleman as far as what, they're not making any kind of noise or anything like that. It's just when I sit there and look out my back porch through the little patch of woods that I've got, used to be a pretty farm field. Now there's 7 or 8 campers just sitting there, just stuck together, big eyesore. I haven't seen a daylight photo of a deer since they got in there last December. I thought the whole idea of this thing was to come in and get permission to do something, not do it, and then ask forgiveness when you got caught. That's all I've got to say.
Yes, sir. Is there, no, sir. Is there anyone else here who would want to speak in opposition?
Is this for the hunting club?
Yes.
Me?
Would you come up, please, and tell us who you are, ma'am, and your address?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Brandy Jenkins.
Come to right here, please.
I'm Brandy Jenkins. I live at 875.
Okay?
Okay. One, my husband, he has heart disease. And he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And my husband shouldn't have to wear orange vest to go outside, get ready for work. I have pets. They do go in the woods. And I do have a 14-month-old grandbaby.
No, don't do that, please. Okay?
And I was told it's going to be over there by my house. And I don't want it there. For our safety. Nothing against them at all.
Okay.
Just us. And it's peaceful. With no gunshots.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Is there anyone else here who would want to speak in opposition? In opposition?
No, she doesn't want to speak in opposition.
I didn't think so. So, no, ma'am, not right now.
Not yet,
No.
not yet.
Thank you. Thank you. Board members, do you have questions of anyone who's spoken?
I had a question, but the lady answered it. I was looking at the map and looking at it and the amount of property involved. I was wondering where they're gonna hunt. There wasn't any room. So that's been established for the one lady was concerned about that. I guess that there won't be any hunting there. Their hunting will be somewhere else, so that might ease your mind some. That's all I got.
So I have something. So if I understand this right, this is basically just a base camp. Is that correct?
Correct,
Exactly.
yes.
I have pictures, more pictures than I'd be more than happy to leave them with you people. It shows my camp, the hunt club that, I have established. I have this gentleman here with what he, what he said that I ruined his hunt. I mean, they still have the food plot, they have their feeders and his stands right there. And, this lady, she's talking about people hunting. We've never fired a gun on any of that property, that 19 acres from the last 43 years.
So just to clarify, what's been said is what's going on here is a base camp. It is not where the hunting takes place. The hunting takes place on some other tract of land across Griswoldville Road.
Yes, so right across the street from 865, our driveway, there's a railroad track, and then there's there's county land that's probably like 400 acres, and then ours is right over it. So like we're on the other 400-acre tract, closer to where there's like Dollar General and stuff.
So how long has that property been hunting property?
We've had it for 40 or
43 years,
43 years.
1983 is when I leased this property from the gentleman from across.
No, how long has the hunting, that's where you're leasing that you
Yes,
hunt,
so
I'm
we
sorry.
leased it through Green Diamond, and we've had it for 43 years.
I also have a tract of land over up in this
Mountain
tract
Spring.
over in
That's,
Mountain Spring.
that's okay.
Okay.
So other questions?
I have another one. So, is there a way that this gentleman could be happy with y'all possibly moving out of his, kind of to the side or something?
concern is too, 'cause I don't wanna walk out my front porch and look to the right, there's a whole bunch of campers right there.
That's my property.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Ma'am, please don't debate among yourselves here. You can talk to us and you can answer questions, but we don't debate back and forth. I'm sorry.
I've got it's not really a question, but it's an issue, and I, went by and looked at the property prior to, this meeting. And it caught my attention when I read, the staff report that, these campers have to be 500 foot away from the road, is that correct?
That's what the applicant has specified on the site plan provided.
The lot itself is not even 300 foot deep.
According to the site plan provided, I can just tell you what the gentleman showed on the site plan. If I read this correctly,
I got real confused on the site plan.
if I read this correctly, it shows it 500 feet
Uh-huh.
to the first structure.
Well, Ms. Boyles, do you have any other property on Grizzleville Road, other than this property that we're discussing?
Me?
Yes.
Yes. I
Yeah.
also have property at 1264 Griswold Road.
Which, is it also 19 acres?
No, it's 24 point something,
Okay.
25.
I'm looking at a map that shows the property, and it allows you to measure line distance. Now, I'm just throwing this out there, but the property is not even 300 feet deep.
This is the subject parcel here. I'm coming up with 893 feet.
That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the.
This is the parcel. This is the parcel.
Can I shrink this a little bit? Where's Henderson Road?
Here's Henderson. There's the subject parcel.
Well, I'm confused because that's showing her name on it.
Show me your measurement again.
All right, that's Grizzleville Road.
Mm-hmm. It's yards.
No. My bad, I'm sorry. That's it,
All right, so the distance is good.
I'm just stating what the applicant showed on the site plan. He showed 500 feet back to the fence. So I was just putting what he had on his application.
So, but back to the question about some way to make it better for the people who are looking at the campers.
Yes, ma'am.
And that question should go to,
Ms. Boyd.
so it's back to you, ma'am. The issue is, that's been raised by two other folks here, is looking at the group of campers out their back door and whether or not there's some way that the campers can be repositioned, screened, something done that makes it less in their face, I guess, for lack of a better word.
But number one, his property line adjoins adjoins Kevin's property. My property does not adjoin his directly. Kevin has a 90-foot right-of-way from Grizzleville Road up to his property. And he also has the driveway, the old driveway from Henderson Road down to his house. But this came about because my sister was wanting to put a trailer park up there before my mother passed away. And so she divided everything that way so that she could have double car access from Grizzleville Road for the trailer park. When my mom passed away, my sister moved, and she's not well now, so it's not gonna happen. So when she sold it, Kevin gets the 90-foot right-of-way from Grizzleville Road up to his 19 acres.
Oh, can I say something? I apologize. Just real quick, there's trees, like, I stay there quite often, you know, I travel a lot, so I'm not ever there more than just to check on stuff most of the time, but there's trees in between, so I don't know, I don't personally see either one of them anytime I'm there, so I'm not quite sure what they see versus what I see, but there's a group of woods in between where we are, and they're both, I couldn't even tell you which one's which, because there's trees in between all the other houses, and a whole
So-
other field out front.
Sir,
Correct, there's trees.
show us.
Show them, there's trees, so I mean,
Yeah.
So the question is, how far, show everybody over there, please. So the question is, how far,
This is looking through my woods, these are where I had my hunting stands originally and all set up, and you can see all that big block of white right in there, that's all it campers.
May I say something too?
That's looking from your
From my back porch, right?
back porch.
Right, and that's,
Okay.
like I said, when I established out there, none of that stuff was there, it was just a nice farm field.
so how many feet would you estimate that to be from where you are to where that is?
400 feet maybe?
Okay. Okay.
Again, I don't have, I love hunting, I'm all about hunting. If they could plant some Leland cypress trees to block the campers, I'd be fine. That's the only reason I can't hunt. I don't
So,
have a problem.
sir, talk to us.
I'm
I
sorry.
I got you, you want to screen. So ma'am, how far is it from where you are to where you're looking and can see these things?
If I was to step on my front porch, there's an open field.
we're not on the open field.
How many feet?
Oh my gosh, probably 20 feet.
Again,
I think we're, Tony, and my husband Tony.
That's my property.
No, you're behind me.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many feet from where you are to where those trailers are, campers?
That I don't know.
But you can see them?
Yes, if I was to go in my backyard, 'cause my husband has done a lot of cleaning back there, yes. He has
So
knocked down
you-
a lot of trees.
You don't know from your property line to the campers how far it is?
No, no.
Okay.
About the same distance. if not.
There is,
Yeah, 'cause our yards meet together in the back.
Okay.
there is still 90 feet
Right.
from their property
I don't
line.
imagine.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Does the board have any more questions?
I don't.
Are y'all prepared to make a motion? Someone?
I would move to recommend approval.
Do I have a second for approval?
Second.
Is there any other discussion?
Can I ask one question? This, the gentleman right here, he said something about some Leland cypresses, maybe just a little blind. Would it be that y'all could do that,
Yeah, we could look into planning something.
I mean,
I feel
just
like we can
to-
compromise there.
so everybody's happy here?
Where would we plant?
Just right there on, there's.
We have to plant on Kevin's property.
Well, then I guess, Kevin, we do plant any trees.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
They're wanting to know if we can plant any cypress trees or something,
Would
kind
you
of
like to
like
see the
block
trees on
the
your property
see-through.
line?
No, that's right. I
pay for them. I mean, somebody else would have to pay for them.
All right, so what I'm and this is discussion still, what I'm hearing is there's not enough space on the piece of property that's being discussed to plant a line of buffer before you get to somebody else's property?
Well, there's a swamp in between.
Is there space?
Not-
The owner says
All
no.
wooded land there to begin with. I mean, we could put it, there's a fence that divides, you know, that totally circles this, you know, my hunt club. There's a fence that's been there from Farmer Joe from back, long before I ever come, back in the early eighties. And, you
Sir,
know,
the question is, can you plant a buffer?
Not on our property, not on my property. It would have to be on Kevin's property.
All right, so I have a motion and a second to approve it without the ability to create a buffer, based on this discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so the recommendation goes forward to the commissioners as an approval. So y'all need to go, my suggestion would be y'all go to the commissioners' meeting on November the 5th and talk with them there, because they will also allow you to have conversation and ask questions and make comments. But right now, Planning and Zoning has recommended approval of the request for the conditional use. Okay, moving to item 2. Mr. Donnie Guy is requesting a conditional use to allow 2 single wides. The property is located at 395 Hillsborough Lake Road, and it consists of 98.56 acres, which is zoned agricultural rural. Mr. Guy, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you come up and tell us your plan, please?
My plans are to,
Tell us your address, I'm sorry.
it's 395 Hillsborough Lake Road, and there's roughly 100 acres there. I wanted to get approval to put 2 single-wide mobile homes on it. I'm going to actually be building homes on that property. It's probably going to be sometime next year before we get started. I've got quite a few animals and livestock that I've got to bring to the property, so I just wanted to see if I could go ahead and get some mobile homes approved on it. That's not my permanent residence there. I don't know how long they'll be there for, to be honest with you, but my intentions are, you know, I bought a 100-acre piece of property. I'm not going to live in mobile homes indefinitely on it. I'm going to be building homes on it.
So your current address is Athens,
Yes, ma'am.
161 Archer Grove Road in Athens?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got horses. I've got a lot of animals we're going to be relocating here, so that's not done overnight. So we need to be able to live on the property while we're making that transition. And in my setbacks, I think the setbacks, are they in front of you there? My son's actually going to be building a home, so the second mobile home is going to be for my son and his family. So I think I'm 650 feet off the road on one side, 870 feet off the road on the other side, and I've got plenty of clearances on the sides of the property. And one side of the property is bounded by the National Forest, so there's no issues there. So I don't have any neighbors anywhere near me.
Okay. Is there anyone here that's going to speak in support of this with you, sir? Is there anyone here that's going to speak in opposition to this request? Questions from the board? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve this house.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
No.
So this will go forward with a recommendation for approval to the commissioners, and again, on November the 5th is when the final decision will be made.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay, comments from the audience.
I apologize for the ruckus, but other than that, no. You got it okay.
It wasn't ruckus, y'all were just trying to get your points made, thank you. Comments from the board? Comments from our director? Then do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? A third, fourth? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.